The following is a presentation of TNT Sports.
For the Pacers, another NBA playoff milestone.
Got ahead of the pack. Elo was there. Scott put down.
Now that is the way you talk. You don't have to point your finger. You step up and you make the big play.
Downing the Hawks in 6, the Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Final for the first time after a string of first-round knockouts.
When I came here, no one really gave us any respect. Everyone said, what's an Indiana Pacer? And now no one has to know what an Indiana Pacer is. Everyone in the city and all over the world knows what the Pacers are.
Indiana goes global. In the West, Game 7 will decide the conference finalists. Phoenix and Denver wouldn't go quietly. The Nuggets got a 23-point night from They rallied in the fourth and then held their collective breath.
Now it's Hornacek. The McNuggets have done it again.
Denver takes its comeback act to Utah for Game 7. In Phoenix, the Suns even the score with Houston. AC Green went 9 out of 10 from the floor. Now a shot at the Western Conference Summit rides on a summit meeting on Saturday. Tonight on TNT, Bulls and Knicks, Chapter 6. A series featuring fourth-quarter dramatics, hand-to-hand combat, a Game 3 cameo from Sitting Bull, and a last-second whistle that made a kid a hero. It's 3-2 New York. Another Bulls loss, and it's lights out at Chicago Stadium. All right, welcome back to the NBA playoffs on TNT. Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Game 6 of the Knicks-Bulls Eastern Semi comes your way in just a few minutes. Ron Thulin and Hubie Brown will call it from Chicago Stadium. Some non-playoff news to tell you about tonight. Roy Tarpley has taken the first step toward a return to the NBA. In October of '91, Tarpley was banned from the league for repeated violation of the NBA's anti-drug policy. He's played the last 2 years in Greece and has played well. Now he's applied for reinstatement to the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks still have his rights, but first, the league will conduct an extensive series of background checks and interviews before delivering a decision late this summer on Roy Tarpley. Joining us once again tonight here in the studio is Don Nelson of the Golden State Warriors. We take a look now at the Knicks and Bulls Game 6. What do you do if you're Phil Jackson? Kind of a tough game to come back from when you thought you had it late in New York the other night.
It is going to be tough for him. I felt that the Bulls had to win in New York when Harper was out of the game. It was a great opportunity for him, and they actually had the game won, and a controversial call took it away from them.
What's the key? Is there one guy you're looking at tonight? I know we had kind of talked about Tony Kukoc. What's the deal there?
Yeah, I feel that New York does not want Kukoc in the game. They would like to play the game without him, and you'll see when he goes into the game, they go right at him. They go at him for a reason. They want Phil Jackson to take him out of the game as quickly as possible.
Game 6 coming right up. Nellie and I will be back at halftime right now. Strap yourself in. Could be a bumpy ride out there in Chicago. Game 6 between the Knicks and Bulls. Will it be the finale for Chicago Stadium? We'll turn it over to Ron and Hubie next.
The wrecking ball is standing by to take down the walls of Chicago Stadium, as tonight could be the last game in the historic arena. The demo crew in the form of the Knicks standing by to try to take down the Bulls in what could be Chicago's last game of the year. Game 5 was true to form. In New York, the Knicks won. In Chicago, the referees have lost. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ron Thulin. You know, there is an excitement in the air tonight that is matched by none. A lot of anticipation of tonight's Game 6, and it'd be almost fitting if this series did go to 7 games. 4 of the 5 games have been close. 3 of the 5 games have involved some type of controversy. And my broadcast partner tonight is Hubie Brown. And Hubie, first of all, the excitement, but the bottom line is the Bulls are facing elimination tonight.
They are, Ron, except they play well in this building. In this series, they're 2-0. They're scoring 100 points. Everyone seems to get in the action, not only the first unit, but also the second team. And we're going to show you a graphic. There's the 100 points, a 12-point difference. You see the field goal percentage is up 6, and then the bench. The bench will always play well at home. But the key the points off of turnovers. That's a 12-point difference, and that's what gives you the real shot in the arm.
Well, then this, of all the playoff series so far, this is the only series which the home team has won every game. Let's talk about the matchups. First of all, Derek Harper is back for the New York Knicks, but he will not be starting. Greg Anthony gets the starting nod instead.
Well, they're going with that combo tonight. Anthony first, then Harper. We're talking 13 points and 6 assists. This duo, though, must put the reins on B.J. Armstrong. He's averaging 18 points and also shooting 55%. If they cut down on the turnovers, the Knicks should have a good night. At the other end of the floor, Horace Grant is being out-rebounded by Charles Oakley. During the year, 11 rebounds a game and only 6 here. He's averaging 4 offensive rebounds in this series. That is a major plus. But in New York, only 1 per game. Can he out-battle the Oak Man? Then we look at Scottie Pippen. He's averaging 23 points a game. He was just rewarded the #1 vote getter for the All-NBA first team. He also made All-NBA first defensive team. They need his 23 points, Ron, but 20 are coming in the first 3 periods. He must step up in that 4th quarter where he's only averaging 3 as well as shooting 20%. The defensive toughness is on him. He must stop Smith and Mason, and let's see what happens. It should be a rumble.
Oh, we're ready for a rumble. Good news for Chicago. The New York Knicks have lost 8 straight playoff games here in Chicago. The bad news is if it goes to Game 7 in New York, Chicago has never won a 7th game on the road. But it's Game 6 tonight, and as of right now, both teams are still standing. The 340th consecutive sellout here at Chicago Stadium as we take a look at tonight's Jeep Eagles starting matchups.
Well, the pressure is on Scottie Pippen. Charles Smith and his substitute Mason are averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds. It's a tough matchup for Scottie. In the backcourt also, Ken Myers and Kerr both starts up as well as Hubert Davis.
And the coaching staffs, Pat Riley, 12 seasons, 12 50-win years, 12 first-place finishes. 49-year-old Pat Riley from Schenectady, New York. And on the other bench, it'll be Phil Jackson. 3 championships, 1 of 9 to win a title as a player and a coach. And he won a CBA title and NBA titles. Our officials tonight, Hugh Evans, Mike Mathis, Jack Nees, a veteran crew. Game 6, if New York wins, it's on to play Indiana.
Major thing for New York, they must cut down on the turnovers and not allow the Bulls to get out in the open floor. For the Bulls, they must get on the offensive boards. One of the premier offensive rebounding teams in this league, only averaging 11 in this series versus the Bulls. Versus the Knicks.
Greg Anthony coming off that game, which he had only 1 turnover in Game 5, had an exceptional game. Patrick Ewing exactly where he started in Game 5.
Now you saw Scottie Pippen come down on the double team, but the distance was too far. It was from to the top of the circle.
Bill Jackson says the key to the game is tempo. They want to control it.
They have Cartwright way out high to take Ewing away from the basket.
B.J. Armstrong having a spectacular series with the ball. 3 to shoot. Grant launches from 18.
He's had a great series in regards to scoring points. He's right there at 17, and he's shooting 61%. But they need Horace to really get into the trenches tonight and get on the offensive rebounding.
Inside, Starks with the 2.
That time Cartwright got caught up guarding Ewing. He never saw Starks on that move.
Ball belongs to the Bulls with 18 on the shot clock. Chicago has not lost a Game 6 in a series since May of 1975. They've won 4 straight Game 6s. That game they lost to Golden State. Now low to Cartwright, spins. Ewing gets a hand on the ball, just enough to throw off the shot.
No double teaming that time. They allowed Ewing just to stay with Cartwright.
Starks from the arc off. Pippen keeps it alive and he leads the break. It's a 3-on-2. Armstrong.
That's what they need to see. That's their game. Get out in the open floor. The distributor, the key man is Scottie Pippen.
Over 19,000 here in the stadium tonight.
Knicks are a big pick and roll and then a post-up team. Anything out of the post, you must catch and look for the jump shot.
There was the double by B.J. Armstrong. Knicks get a fresh 24 on the shot clock. We have played just under 2 minutes. We are tied at 4. Armstrong coming out to meet Anthony.
They're running a staggered screen on the baseline for Starks.
Starks slips, keeps his balance. Smith with the fall away. Ewing with the tip. Grant with the rebound.
Cartwright is open.
Grant brings Ewing way out as Oakley picks up Cartwright. Good pass. Horace grabs to Bill Cartwright.
Any penetration by the Bulls into the painted area, you will see Patrick Ewing leave Cartwright and then go immediately for the trap, the intimidation, or the shot block.
Chicago has made an effort to shut down the 2 guard of New York in this series. Stripped by Pippen. He's got Myers to the hole. Whistle and a foul, and Myers, I think, went into the stanchion.
Now that is a very, very hard foul. It'll be an interesting call here right now.
2 blue jerseys came down on Pete Myers.
Now Pete Myers takes this ball strong to the basket, and he gets hit by both defenders. Now just keep an eye on it. Now watch Anthony get him right there, and then Starks catches him with the body. Now they felt that it was not a flagrant foul. No unsportsmanship. And they're just putting him on the line to shoot too. Pete Myers is a key in this series, Ron. You know, he's got to step up right now. He and Kerr are really struggling. Both guys are shooting in the 30s. And then also Kerr is struggling from outside in threes where he's only 1 for 7. Now the reason why we bring this up is that they are not paying attention to that 2-guard position. And the 2, Myers and Kerr, are getting great looks at the basket.
Domowski is almost 4-on-5 basketball. By the way, that foul was on Anthony, who looked like he had a clean block.
I mean, from my look, I honestly thought that he got him hard. I thought he hit him first, right across the wrist area, and then the body by Starks.
6-0 run by the Bulls. Ewing had 14 in the first quarter in Game 5. Not tonight. Cartwright gets a piece of the ball.
Well, that's a play right there. When you're at home, you get the call for the body. When you're on the road, it's called incidental contact.
Ewing outlets it to Anthony. 8:43 left in the first. The Bulls by 4. Now Smith battling Pippen underneath. Grant shows the double. It's all Chicago on rebounds.
That was an excellent double team by the Knicks. They realized they must stop Charles Smith from getting off early. He scores a ton of points for the Knicks when he's having a good night in the first and second quarters.
Cartwright triggering the offense way outside the arc. Grant on Myers cutting over the outstretched hands of Patrick Ewing.
Pete's got a height advantage on Stark. He's quick, and no one's paying attention to him. So if he'll just cut hard, the players will get him the ball on the move.
Pat Riley was afraid his team would be careless tonight. Starks for 3, and he buries it. We've talked about it this series, Hubie. He'll light it up whatever he feels like.
Well, he runs off the screens as well as anyone in the league because he runs hard and he runs close to the screen man. Now that time Pete was too slow getting to him.
Oakley had a shot at the rebound. They're going to give it to the Knicks with 7:40 left in the first.
Anytime that you play John Starks, you know that they're going to run screen downs. Now, right now, you're involved in a screen down on the right-hand side. So you must get to him quicker than that. The easiest way to play a guy coming off the screens is to stay behind him. Because if you stay directly behind him, you'll give him the curl move, but he's not going to get the straightaway or the fade open jump shot.
We saw the Knicks guards in Game 5 shoot 50%, had 16 assists, only 4 turnovers, and they're turning the ball over tonight.
There's your 3-on-2. Too late, BJ. You didn't get that one out. That's why we said at the top, a lot of pressure on Anthony and Harper not to turn the ball over and to get into the offense.
8 to shoot. Armstrong gets a step on Anthony, rejected by Ewing, but we have a whistle before it on the drive. And Anthony and Starks exchanging words.
No one in this series is playing better than B.J. Armstrong. He's at 17-8 a game, right at 18 points. He's shooting 55% from the floor, 7 in threes. That is fantastic, and 92% on the line.
Well, here comes Derek Harper, is going to be checking into the lineup, and it was surprising. We were talking the last 2 days about when Pat Riley would bring Derek Harper in. Would he start him at the start of the game, or would he bring him in as a substitute because of the reaction? He's bringing him in now, and you can hear the reaction.
Well, he's a different player than Anthony. Anthony will stay more within what the Knicks are trying to do. Harper, he understands when to beat his man off the dribble. He's extremely dangerous, especially after Chicago scores. He'll bring the ball up and lull you to sleep and then explode down the lane, and he's been able to do that in this series.
Phil Jackson pleading his case to Hugh Evans.
But I love BJ's game. He has definitely stepped up big time this year. Not only during the season where he was rewarded by making the All-Star team. You saw his production in Game 5. But the thing which has opened it up for him is his penetration into the lane, the head and shoulder fakes, the ability to get fouled, and also to hit the score without getting any shots blocked.
He's had only 6 turnovers in the 5 games. Oakley gives it up to Smith. He lets it ride from the corner, hits the side of the backboard. Nice. Oakley can't catch him. The tip won't go. Here comes Smith. He's got Harper on the left. Starks.
Good defense that time by Cartwright. He did not allow Starks to beat him off the dribble.
Pippen can't get around Smith. Smith wearing the big knee brace on the left leg.
And Billy must score here because he can shoot over Oakley.
Oakley gets a piece of it, and it comes. 13-7 our score. 6:28 remaining to be played in the first quarter.
Now we'd like to show you the strong suit of Chicago. We understand that they are an excellent fast-breaking team. The reason, because of the man with the basketball. He not only gets you 24 points, he gets you 5 assists and then also 5 rebounds. He is the catalyst of the break. That allows the guards to run to the corners if they don't finish the break and spot up for the 3. The main man here is Scottie Pippen. And what you like to see him do now, the league, the media, everyone is recognizing this young man as one of the top 5 guys in the league. You can see the voting. He comes out with the media as the #1 player in the league.
He's getting the well-deserved respect. Cartwright completes the 3-point play. He has 5.
I told you early, anytime that Chicago scores, whoever inbounds the ball, the player playing him will double-team the guard at half court.
Harper needed a dribble before he shot. Didn't get it to go. Biggest lead. The Bulls are trying to add to it. Myers off the glass.
They are a better transition team. Now, right now, we just had a collision down on the baseline. There are a ton of photographers here because once you take one step, you're right in their lap tonight, Ron, and you must avoid the cameras.
14-3 run in the last 5 minutes for the Bulls. Playing with a lot of emotion, but it will come down to execution. Ewing, an ugly shot. Whistle, they say it hit the side of the backboard. It will belong to the New York Knicks.
Great call by Mike Matthews and Jockey Neese. They double-teamed that time, and Myers took that ball away. This is a strong move by Pete Myers. We told you he can be a catalyst in this game as well as Kerr. And then as he goes into the... Now, the reason why we said about the cameras, not to protect the cameras, we're trying to protect the people with the cameras, and then also you do not want to get an injury as you plow into these people, especially coming down from maybe 8 to 10 feet.
Well, Hubie, we talk about Patrick Ewing in Game 5, how he had 14 first-quarter points. He is struggling so far tonight, and part of the problem, they said, after Game 4 was they weren't getting him the ball. He's got the ball. He's just not connecting right now.
Well, he's 1 for 4, and the double team is coming quickly now from the corner. And I like what Pete Myers did that time. He waited until Ewing dribbled and turned, and then he came, and he got a piece of that ball from the back.
Oakley from the outside, that's a 2. We'll have a loose ball foul called on the Knicks. They are now just 3 of 13 for the floor. Charles Smith whistling for #1.
Now in this series, both teams are launching a lot of threes. And the reason is we have 2 excellent defensive teams. The shot clock is getting down a lot. Plus, you must double team the post-up people, so there is a lot of pitching out. Each team is averaging 11 3-point attempts per game.
For the the Bulls. That's 3 more than the regular season. Anthony Mason has come in. Smith goes and takes a seat. Knicks already with 14 fouls. We still have 5.5 left in the first. 7 to shoot for the Bulls.
Two-man game.
Pippen gets a step. The reverse tries to go from the bottom up. Harper. Armstrong gets a big piece of him, and he pays for it with a right shoulder of Derek Harper.
See, that's what I like about Harper. See, he's a bull. You're talking about a guy who dribbles just as well with his left, and he has a nice crossover move. He left BJ in the dust that time. Smart foul by BJ. Do not allow him to get airborne, because then he'd be shooting 2 foul shots.
16 to 7 to score. It is a 9-point Chicago lead.
Two-man game.
Whistle and another foul. Count the basket, says referee Hugh Evans.
Well, anytime that Ewing is played by Cartwright, he must show you his entire arsenal. Now, we've seen Patrick now use at least 4 different moves to get up. This is just a strong, quick move. Now, usually, he will fade and raise his right leg right into your chest as he would throw that fadeaway jump shot.
Well, Ewing has missed his last 3 free throws. 2, of course, in Game 5 that almost cost them the game.
Well, during the year, he was a 77% shooter. Right now, he's only shooting 71% in this playoff series.
Well, Mike Mathis is going to call a little hand checking by Derek Harper. That is his first personal, and they're already over the limit with 4:52 left in the first.
It's such an advantage when you get into the penalty, because it puts a lot of pressure on the other team. Plus, it cuts down on the fact that a team outscores you 6-0, 8-0, 9-0, because you're getting to the foul line and you got an opportunity to get some gifts.
B.J. Armstrong, 2 of 3 tonight from the line, 24 of 27 for this series. Benjamin Roy Armstrong Jr.
An interesting thing in this series, the Knicks have cut down B.J. Armstrong and Kirk, 2 of the top 4 3-point shooters in the league. They only have 7 attempts each in threes. That's incredible. The Knicks have stayed right at home with them, not allowing that dagger in the heart.
Mason has to give it up. Starks, good ball fake. The double pump. Oh, shot by John Starks, and he looks at Myers and said, "You can't cover me."
Are you kidding? That was a tough shot.
That's the way they do it in Tulsa. 7-point Bull lead. Inside of 4.5. Hubie Brown and Ron Thulin from historic Chicago Stadium. Grant goes high, doesn't get it. Rebound is going to be controlled. They give it to Chicago. Watch the double pump by John Starks.
Now, Pete and I, they run right at him here. You're going to see it. Myers runs at him. Now watch what happens. Look, double dip.
Bad, just the way they do it at Dairy Queen.
2-shot foul. Yes, indeed.
Man Harper.
Yeah. Same call. Jackie Neese had it all the way. When the ball is out of bounds and you're inbounding, if you foul a man before the ball is passed in, it's 2 shots. Now keep an eye right in the lane. You see him, he's holding it right there. Good call, solid call by Jackie Neese. See, that's another freebie. Plus, anytime that you're shooting the penalty in the flow, it's great, but now you're putting a lot of fouls on key people. Fouls, clause, substitutions.
Oh, Hubie, that's already 8 free throws for Chicago. They had a total of 11 in Game 5. They want to talk about it. 4:15 left in the first, an 8-point Chicago lead. Chicago Stadium opened in 1929 as the world's greatest indoor arena and convention hall. Now it's the home of the Bulls. They lead by 8, 4:15. A couple of headlines. First of all, over in the East, how about the Pacers? What a game for Reggie Miller. He says he wants New York. He may get them.
Well, then you have Rick Smits, and then how about 4 new people this year and a new coach, Larry Brown, in their 8-man rotation.
And over in the West, the Suns and the Nuggets, both those series tied up at 3 games apiece. Mutombo with the big free throws. And AC Green, the big Phoenix. Denver, what a job Dan Issel has done up there.
Well, you know what's nice? You have Robert Pack, and then also Williams coming off the bench, playing big, and then their first team people doing an excellent job. And then they have the new eraser in the back in Mutombo, who erases all the defensive lapses.
He is a talented young man. Ewing from the baseline. They tried to come with the double.
That was a smart move. Patrick turned away from the double that time because it came from the top.
Pat Riley says they have to play the perfect game tonight in order to win. Cartwright, no basket. They're calling an offensive foul. Bill Cartwright hooked Patrick Ewing.
That's a tough call on Cartwright. That's a second. Now keep an eye on Ewing. You'll see as the ball goes in, the double team will come from the top. There's Pippen. See, that's a prime time move to the baseline. Once again, Patrick Ewing is not just a fadeaway jump shooter. And all the premier post-up scorers that we have, they have multiple moves. Now, I'd like to just bring this out about Cartwright and Longley. In this series, they are getting 11 points and 11 rebounds. Between them, they only get 10 shot attempts. Now, you're talking major contribution.
And the Knicks throw it away. That is their third turnover already in the ballgame, something Pat Riley wanted to make sure they cut down on after Game 4, in which they turned it over 24 times. Cut it down in Game 5. He said that is the perfect game. Longley in, Cartwright out. Longley has struggled offensively, especially with the left-handed hook. Grant cuts through the paint. Oakley picks him up, 6 to shoot. Fakes left, goes right. Oakley with the rebound.
See, Oakley is not allowing Grant to get to his favorite spot. In the NBA, you try to keep him, bump the guys out one step, only 3 feet away from their key spot. Grant right now 1 for 5.
Ewing again turning away from the double team this time. He's called for the travel.
Now we cannot bring up the turnovers enough. Not only does it put the Bulls out in the open floor, but what it also does, it cuts down on your shot attempts. When 2 great defensive teams are playing one another, you are not getting 85 to 95 shot attempts.
Crowd yelling Luke. Double by Starks. Just enough to take it away. Here comes Harper. He has Oakley running the floor. Good move. Charles Oakley can't get the layup.
They wanted a pin on the board that time. Not only Oakley, but also Riley.
Longley sees Myers, has it stripped by Starks.
Luke Longley and Cartwright, we told you, 11 points and 11 rebounds. Then when you add in that Luke Longley is averaging 4 assists a game, now that's just incredible. And the reason is that he's able to pick out the key people.
They just called a flagrant foul on John Starks, who wants to talk to Huey Evans about it. It was a hard foul. Myers almost went after Starks and held up.
Now, this was a delayed call, okay? I mean, that was not called a flagrant immediately. That was just called a flagrant when Ron gave it to you. Now, John Starks is bent out of shape. Now, keep an eye on this right here. Now, here comes Myers to the hole strong, and it's a strong foul. What you had to do, you know, to get away from that. Now, Myers misses the first one, but Pete's been struggling on the foul line, all right? He's only shooting 43% in the series.
He misses them both. He came into tonight 3 of 7. He is 2 for 4 tonight.
And the good defensive teams play at this time of year. They want to take care of the rebounding, and they know that at the offensive end of the floor, you must make your foul shots, and you must get out in the open floor and get some easy scores in transition. And then when everything is in sync, you're hammering the offensive boards and getting those close-in 6 to 8 foot second shot attempts.
Well, Hubie, the Bulls already have 11 free throws, their total from Game 5. Jody Kukoc in, Hubert Davis in for the Knicks. Kukoc, nice. Great move. Pippen, he's fouled on the play.
We've seen some nice dribbling in this series, where guys will come in and they'll run a stutter. By that we mean they slow down, they give you a lazy bounce, and then as soon as the defender relaxes, they bounce it, but they take the big step with the long bounce. Now Pippen has just been on fire. He's coming into tonight, he was 29 for 30, 97% on the line. And you say, why was that a big deal? During the year, he only shot 66%.
He's only missed 3 the entire 2 series. He is now 42 of 45, and the lead for the Bulls is up to 9. That is their biggest. You see the time remaining in the first.
Well, with Mason in there, this is a tough matchup for Kukoc.
Patrick lost the handle. Here comes Pippen. He has B.J. Armstrong on the left. Armstrong pops out.
Two-man game here.
Armstrong pulling the trigger. Nothing but net for B.J. Armstrong.
Well, he's very dangerous going to his left when he comes off that two-man game on the left side of the floor.
Davis, the hero from Game 5, can't get his first shot to go. Ewing, loose ball foul, and will be on the Knicks. Well, Pat Riley cannot believe it.
Well, they're all upset. Oakley's upset. He cleared Kukoc out of there. See, they manhandle Kukoc, whether he is playing Mason or whether he gets picked up in that situation by Oakley. They move him right out of there. Now, everything is determined by the 3 guys who are refereeing. The personality of the game is dictated by the refs. Players adjust to it. Some nights, that's a non-call. Other nights, they're calling it from the opening get-go. Now, tonight, they're calling that.
Tony Kukoc with a sharp tattoo on the left shoulder has played extremely well outside of his numbers. He's only shooting 39%, 64% from the line, but he has made some passes that you and I have seen that have been just short of spectacular.
Well, the other thing, Ron, also is he gives them a potent three-point shooter. He's shooting 46% in threes, and he'll take it with the shot clock going down.
He's a money player. Ewing from the baseline, a fall away. His pet move can't go. Pippen with a 3-on-2. Oakley hustles back to even up the numbers.
The Oakman is the unsung hero of transition defense for the Knicks.
It has all been Chicago the last 6:20. Ewing the rebound. He has 4 for the game. 13-point Chicago lead. Not a lot of movement on the part of New York offensively right now. Pippen almost with the steal. Harper with 6 to shoot.
Oh, great
There's the steal again. Kukoc sees Armstrong.
Great team defense. Excellent anticipation by Pete, Pippen, and then B.J. Armstrong. With the big unit now, Pippen is on Harper.
Harper takes it right down the paint. We have a whistle and a foul in the basket. Longley thought he was going to just bring it inside, but Kukoc whistled for the foul.
The difference between Anthony and Harper being played by Pippen. Pippen has a tendency to level Harper off and not let him get in the lane. I mean, Anthony. But Harper, the experience, when Pippen went for that steal, he beat him, no hesitation at all, right down the middle line. It's what we try to bring up here. In each quarter that he's on the floor, he will take it strong to that rim at least 2 times. He's going to challenge that defense.
The numbers on Derek Harper in the playoffs. The 11th year pro out of Illinois, first round pick by Dallas back in '83. Joined his teammate Rolando Blackman. Harper now with 3 in his first game back from a 2-game suspension. It is a 12-point Chicago lead.
There'll be a 3-second time difference here.
JoJo English checking in for the Bulls. Steve Kerr also in. Longley blocked by Ewing. Then he finds the baseline open. What a move by the Australian.
That's what you'd love to see him do all the time. Right now, we're inside of 5 seconds. Right now.
Harper forces the shot as he goes hard to the floor. With 1.5, the Knicks will have the basketball.
Big key now. Do not allow your offensive player to get to the front of the rim.
Ewing forces up the shot. A foul. It almost goes in. Kukoc is mad.
Well, he just ought to relax here because Jackie Neese is close to rewarding him with a technical. This is not his man. You're going to see Kukoc now. When this pass comes in, he comes over to help out. See, he had him on the hip. That's an automatic foul. Never mind whether or not he was going for the shot block or whether he hit the ball. He fouled him with the movement on the hip.
So with 0.3 of a second left, it'll be Patrick Ewing at the line. There is an incredible amount of emotion in this building right now. The Knicks feeling very frustrated, mainly because of some excellent Chicago defense.
Early on, we brought out the big point. The Knicks guards must protect its basketball. And then when the inside men get double teamed, they must hit the perimeter shots on the kickouts.
Ewing gets the second to go down. The long pass hits the side of the scoreboard, and it'll be New York's ball with 0.3 of a second. They have a shot at it.
And they get it right back. Now you know that something here, you've got to catch it, shoot it. You need at least 0.3 of a second. You cannot catch it, put it down on the floor. You cannot catch the ball and land without shooting.
Harper pulls the trigger. It's not going to count. No basket, says Jack Nees. No basket. Good call by Jack Nees. Chicago shoots 15 free throws in the first quarter. They hit 12. B.J. Armstrong, the big quarter, with 11 points, only missed one shot. And at the end of one of Game 6, the Bulls by a comfortable 13. A spectacular spring evening in Chicago, looking on the skyline, and we have played 12 minutes, and the Bulls lead it by 13. And if I would tell you, Hubie, that Chicago would be leading by 13, Scottie Pippen does not have a field goal, you probably think I was crazy.
No, you're right about that, Ron, but he's been out in the open floor and doing a good job. Now, you say the rest of the team, you know, you say they're 9 for 17, but Horace Grant is 1 for 5. So your main two guys are being shut down this evening. But that's a good sign because you know that they will loosen out as this game progresses. The big thing that we said right up the top when we came on is that when you are at home, your bench people and then also the peripheral people have a tendency to step up better with the home cooking, the atmosphere, and everything else that goes with playing in this building.
Only 3 Knicks have scored. Pat Riley said big wins for New York. Well, right now, their big man is only 1. It's Patrick Ewing with 7. Oakley and Smith did not score in the first. Mason steals it. He's joined by Davis, Ewing, Harper, and Smith.
Now, Luke Longley has lost the ball twice now. And he's got to get a little stronger with that basketball.
Harper's 3 won't go. Longley tips it to Kerr, who's joined by Grant, English, Kukoc, and Grant.
Now, this is not a freewheeling fast break. Oh, nice pass.
Nice touch pass to Longley.
Beautiful pass back by Kukoc. When he received his pass, his great court vision right back to the big man. He caught Longley by surprise.
Smith from the top of the key. Good look inside. Longley with the rejection.
See, Kerr's wide open here. Too late.
And they got him the pass from behind. He didn't have a chance to square up. The pass was off his right hip.
We'd like to show you the transition. Now watch this awareness right here. Come right back. Why? Because you're double teamed and the intimidator, Patrick Ewing, was right there. Now this is where Longley can make it happen for you. He's a long body, 7'2", 265. He can get those shots.
The lead is 15. Ewing faces the basket. Kerr shows the double. They kick it out to Harper. That's a 2, and he knocks it down.
Well, having Derek out there will be no hesitation. This is a major plus for the Knicks. He is capable of scoring and scoring big.
Well, he just picked up his 3rd personal foul. Up there calling Smith. I thought he reached out and grabbed JoJo English, and Harper's even smiling. That's 2 on Smith.
Right now for the Knicks, they have 6 turnovers, and also Mason and Charles Smith are a non-entity. And we told you they average 20 points in this series in 5 games.
Longley backing in. Herb Williams with the freshly shaved head. Can't stop Luke Longley.
Now you're yelling at him, get a better hook shot. Yeah. You know what? He's looking back at you and saying, will you please keep quiet?
We were walking out of the garden the other night, and he says, you know, he goes, bad time for the hook to leave me.
Yeah, but it wasn't a hook. It was more of a throw.
Yeah, it was a good throw, Luke. Oh, you're 7'2". Isn't it more of a good drop?
Well, you know, he really forced the shots the other evening. Tonight, he's let 2 beautiful hooks go off and with nice backspin. Now keep an eye on this. The ball handling leaves a lot to be desired, but he puts that one up there.
Kukoc is out with 3 personal fouls. Scott Williams comes in to a mixture of boos and cheers. He has been very vocal about wanting to leave Chicago.
Well, with this group out on the floor right now, you do not have a playmaker for Chicago. Anytime that Pippen and Kukoc are out of the game, the main distributors are on the bench.
Williams, an ugly shot. English with the rebound. Longley running the floor well. To the hole. JoJo English drops it down for 2.
Now this is, JoJo English has only been in 2 games. All right? And he took that ball aggressively to the hole.
That is his first points of the playoffs, and that has opened up a 17-point Chicago lead. We're at 65-year-old Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls have opened up a 17-point advantage with 9:32 left in the half. And so far, the Knicks are not hitting the broadside of a barn. The Bulls are inside the barn.
Right now, not only the 52% shooting, but how about the rebounding, 15-8. That is a major key. And then you complicate it for the Knicks, 32% shooting, plus the fact they have 6 turnovers.
Pat Riley said the key tonight, poise, patience, and pressure. He said, I don't know why we try to hit home runs every time we come into Chicago Stadium, but we make silly mistakes. And they have made a few of those this evening.
In this building, the Knicks' transition defense is like a full step behind. And for some reason in New York, Chicago just does not get these opportunities. They get the same amount of fast breaks, but no finish.
Hubert Davis into the lineup, finds the baseline open, doesn't get it. Longley, the outlet to English.
Look for the post up. I see he waited too long. And Grant was working, had Smith right on his back.
Davis bellies up to Kerr, 10 to shoot. Now Williams posting on Williams. 5 to shoot. English finds a step, loses the handle, whistle, and a foul on the dribble.
Pushed him right in the back, right in the lower back. And that's his third. That's his third. That's a costly foul for them.
And now John Starks comes in, Hubert Davis sits down, Charles Smith sits down, and Charles Oakley comes in.
Right now, Chicago, we told you, no penetrator out here who's going to break down the defense. That's a major negative because Pippen and Kukoc are out of there. You like to see that because Kerr really has been struggling from the field. He's only shooting 32%. He's now 7 for 20 from the field, 1 for 7 from threes.
Starks for 3, and he buries the 3. His second this evening. Starks already checking in with 10.
He's not curling tonight, Ron. He's coming off the screen and going right for the 3. The 2 guys should be right in his chest. He should not be 8 feet behind him.
Oakley holding on to Grant with the left arm. Bunching up the middle. Knicks trying to jam things up inside. Longley with 4 to shoot. The left hand doesn't go. Rebound. Williams trying to tip it instead of grabbing it. Mason. There's Harper. That's a 2. He knocks it down. Harper with 7. The lead is down to 14.
Pat Riley riding Harper right now. Saying, I'm going to go with him. He must have some kind of a time clock in his head, but he's also feeling that he's playing well.
Good look inside. Grant finally regained possession, puts it down for his 4th point of the ball game. The Knicks won 3 of 4 regular season meetings between these two. Chicago averaged only 80 points in those games.
Yeah, Pat Riley is going wild right now. He thought his man was definitely hit.
English from the arc. Here comes Harper. Starks spotting up on the left side. Harper knocks over Williams, loses the handle, no call. Phil Jackson says he wants a timeout, and that is exactly what Steve Kerr is going to get. 7:05 left in the half, and the Bulls lead it by 16.
Ernie Johnson and Don Nelson in Atlanta, where just minutes from now we'll bring you the Reebok halftime report. The coach and I will hook up with Denver's Bryant Stith to talk about tomorrow's Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Jazz. And we'll get the lowdown on Dream Team 2 from the guy who's going to coach him. That's the Reebok halftime report. Right now, back to Chicago Stadium, some telestrator magic from Hubie. Take it away.
We'd like to show you what John Starks is doing. Here, Starks and English are right here. He is going to get screened right here by Mason, right here by his own man, Williams, and then once again. And you're going to see him run into all three screens. Now, you see, if he stayed right behind Starks, nobody could screen him. So he's late getting there. The reason? He took himself out of the play.
9 Chicago players have scored. Only 3 Knicks have scored. Starks, Ewing, and Harper. Cartwright back in the lineup. Doesn't get it. Rebound, Scottie Pippen, who is also checked in. Kerr, nice ball fake from 15. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt for the Knicks.
Well, they definitely had 2 excellent looks at the basket. You can count on the Knicks trapping every screen and roll. And they're just leaving the center wide open on that sideline. So you either come back to them immediately or you do what they did, and that was send it into the middle.
Not balanced scoring at all. Scottie Pippen almost came up with a steal on that play. He was second in the NBA in that department this year.
Well, he's having a very nice overall stacked type of a series. And we said at the top, not only is he scoring, but the rebounding, the assists, and the steals are all there for Scottie.
Kerr tried to keep up with Starks, who gives it up to Herb Williams, who knocks home his first 2 this evening.
Well, Herb Williams is definitely a threat on the boxes or on the baseline area. You must get up and honor him.
Nice job, Anthony. Defense on Armstrong. Gives it up to Kerr. Ewing keeps it alive. Here comes Anthony. He has Starks on the right. Great pass inside. Oakley with the basket, and he draws the whistle.
When you live on the outside, like the Bulls are doing right now, they're living from 17 feet out. You better make the shots, because if you do not, you're allowing a team that is not a fast break conscious club to get out in the open floor with the long rebounds and get numbers on you. And that's what we're seeing right here.
Oakley completes the three-point play. We are in historic Chicago Stadium, where the Bulls face elimination, trailing 3 games to 2, but right now they have an 11-point advantage. They're on a 10-2 run. The Knicks are, with 5:54 left to be played in the half.
This series is amazing because it's played in streaks. And every game is the same way. Every time you think one team is going to run away, they go to sleep and the other guys come right back.
Pippen still looking for his first field goal as B.J. Armstrong hits his first 3.
That's only the 8th in this series. He's 6 for 8. Incredible.
He's 14 already tonight. Now he's playing defense on Anthony. Ewing can't find any position on Cartwright, and an illegal defense will be called on Chicago. That is the first. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Budweiser will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the United Negro College Fund. 5:22 left in the half. Along with Hubie Brown, I'm Ron Thulin. Ernie and Don are in our studio, standing by for the Reebok halftime report.
The Bulls defense have been doing an excellent job in pushing Ewing out far from the basket. They are making him work for every shot attempt.
Gets a step on Cartwright, nice ball fake, and Ewing drops it home.
That was a terrific hesitation. And then the big step by Patrick. Strong move.
The lead is 12, 5 minutes left in the first half. Now Pippen working on Oakley. Backs in. Pippen with a right-handed baby hook, and he has his first field goal of the ball game.
Right now on the baseline, John Starks.
Ewing, Kerr comes behind for the double team. Fans wanted to travel. Anthony for 3. He's actually been shooting the best of all the guards from the arc. Williams can't go. The tip won't go. Again, Ewing loses it to Pippen. Both down on the floor. Will jump it up. Patrick Ewing and Scottie Pippen.
Right now, with Williams and Ewing in the game, you have two centers, and you have two guys who are right around that 7-foot area. Now, we'd like to show you right now. Now, just keep an eye on this move. The Knicks are in an offensive flow right now. Now, as the pass comes into Ewing, watch this head fake right here. He catches him up, then this half a step, strong move to the basket.
Cartwright sits down. Longley checks back into the lineup. And it'll be Patrick and Scottie Pippen jumping it up.
The Knicks are very big right now with Oakley at the small forward position.
Starks will control it. 4:15 left to be played in the half.
Now, this is the first time in this series that Pat Riley has gone to this lineup up front using the two centers.
Ewing with Longley on him. Still a lot of time. 10 to shoot.
Good ball move.
Anthony. Williams. Inside. No place to go. Pippen takes it away to Williams. Great interior defense by the Bulls. Pippen spotting up on the left side. Armstrong working on the other side on Greg Anthony. Gotta watch Starks. Anthony didn't see him.
Well, Anthony just threw a blind pass. You had numbers that time. See, Anthony's doing two things right. First of all, he's not looking to go all the way to the basket himself. And then he's passing the basketball with not picking people out. You don't need to be fancy here. All you have to do is meat and potato basketball. Pippen should take Williams. Get it right back to him. Get right back to him. Herb Williams had a tough time playing him out that high.
Scott Williams over Oakley short. Longley the rebound. Kerr has a great look at it and he connects. Kerr with 4. The lead pushed back to 16 with 3:04 left in the half. Nobody for New York to get Curry went down. Went down. Starks looks for the arc, throws it up, doesn't get it. Scott Williams takes a seat on the floor.
Oh, nice move.
And then John Starks is going to be whistled for the foul as Scottie Pippen goes down strong. That is 2 on John Starks. Scottie Pippen remains down. Gets up slowly. 2:45 left in the half. The Bulls by 16.
We'd like to show you right now, the building went wild because of what you're going to see. Now we're going to stop it right here. You're going to see Starks deliberately sets the foot out and trips Pippen as he goes forward. The Knicks get a break here. You can see the trip. They get a break because they just call a regular foul. And that means that the ball will be taken on the side. Scottie Pippen could not believe it because he definitely thought he was tripped. We were waiting because the call was not made. And you did not know until we went into the timeout whether it was a regular or whether it was a flagrant foul.
Well, for those of you just joining us, we're at 2:45 remaining in the half. It has been all the Bulls from the beginning. They led by 13 at the end of 1. Their biggest lead was 19. B.J. Armstrong has had a tremendous half so far. 14 points for Armstrong. Pippen only 4 points. And he works off Mason. Kerr with the 3, still struggling. Ball last touched by Scottie Pippen. Belong to the Knicks with 2.5 left in the half.
The Knicks are so concerned defensively with Pippen and Kukoc in the lane. They run 2 guys at him all the time. So the perimeter shooting is over. Once again, you've seen Kerr cannot put down the open shot. That's why we said Kerr and Myers are catalysts here in Game 6, and if there is a Game 7.
Pippen a little late on the double team, but Ewing can't take advantage of it. You have to be concerned if you're both Pat Riley and Phil Jackson to win an NBA championship. You have to think you have to win 1 game on the road. Neither team has played exceptionally well on the road. And right now, New York is playing. Finally buries one. Steve Kerr buries his second 3 of this series.
Well, he's happy. You can see that. He was shaking his head because he's had so many good looks at the rim.
He told me before the game, he goes, I don't feel like I'm in a slump because I'm getting good looks. My shot feels good. Starks from 3, and he answers the bell with his 3rd of the evening.
See, you must stay home with Starks. He's looking for the shot. In the series, he's averaging 5 3-point attempts
per game. Scott Williams misses the layup, and the Boo-Birds come out. They're not too sure about his comments in the paper. The Oak Man, Charles Oakley, with his 5th point of the ball game.
Chicago must play intelligent here in this last minute and 12 seconds. Big thing here is go to your strengths, play within what you've been getting, and you do not have to live from the perimeter as your first option.
Pippen with the right-handed hook. The second time he's used it, and the second time it has been good. 16-point lead. Starks draws the whistle. That'll be a blocking foul as Scottie Pippen went hard to the floor.
Well, you have 3 veteran guys here, and any time that it's not an outright collision, they're not going to give any type of flopping. And right now, the people in the building wanted to flop that time. A charge call on Oakley coming down the lane and running over Pippen.
Jojo English comes in, Steve Kerr sits down, and Pat Riley's going to have a timeout. With 54.2 seconds remaining in the half, the Bulls lead it by 16. It is a 20-second timeout. Just a reminder, the Reebok halftime reportedly coming your way. Ernie Johnson and Don Nelson in our studios. Have an update on the Roy Tarpley situation as he's asking for reinstatement. And they'll be talking to Brian Stiff of the Denver Nuggets. Phil Jackson, a former New York Knick. Pat Riley, 4 rings. Rolando Blackman, the veteran from Kansas State, talking to John Starks. But this is exactly what Pat Riley was hoping wouldn't happen to his team. It's not a clean game. He wanted the perfect game, but he's not getting it. They don't look like they're in sync offensively and defensively.
Well, up until now, they have not been able to intimidate in the lane area and then crash the offensive boards and get second shot attempts. Chicago doing an excellent job at holding them to only 1 shot. Easy.
And then they're going to separate him.
That's right. Now, you see, one thing about Longley, after I had him in that game at Charlotte where he went toe-to-toe with Mourning, one thing about Longley, he doesn't mind the dishing. He'll rough you, you rough him up. But then you cannot flagrantly go at him and think that he is going to walk away. He is going to go right into your face. Now, they're battling down in here. This is all legit. I see he took that one in the face. See, he caught the backhand in the face. And there's no way that this guy will back off.
Well, let me ask you this, Hubie. They're talking about the taunting and all that. Wouldn't you think that would have been the perfect place for a technical foul because they went chest to chest?
It's 2 big guys that you can see. Now watch Patrick catch him with the backhand. Right. Now watch what happens here. See, boom, he got hit right on the end. Well, of course he's going to say something. No guy, he's not, because he's not going to be intimidated. And we saw that in that fiasco that broke out at Charlotte. He carried 4 guys on him trying to get at Alonzo Mourning.
Exactly right. Ewing now 3 of 5 from the line. He has 11 points, but the Bulls still have the 14-point advantage. Mason on Pippen. Cartwright, a rainbow.
See, that can happen. Oh, yes.
And Starks runs over Kerr. He cannot believe it.
Now, Pat Riley really upset. He thought it was. He's on UB Evans. UB Evans pointed at the other end. Hey, Pat, get off of me. Jackie called that at the other end. Spike Lee down in here trying to get some prayer time because he's down on his knees. But what you could see there was Kerr set that one up. He gave him a major step. Now right here, you're going to see he gave him the step, and then he just puts the shoulder and he beats it. Now, if you're from Chicago, naturally, that was a foul all the way. If you're from Knicks, he was definitely moving, and he did not. Starks had a chance to get the shoulder ahead of him.
Well, I do know there's 18,000 people that will not see Spike's new movie, Crooklyn.
Good steal by Mason.
Anthony wisely shows some patience. The shot clock has been turned off. Bulls lead it by 14. Davis wheeling around.
Davis just came off of 2 screens.
3 to shoot. Anthony pulls the trigger from 3, and he buries it, and there's a whistle.
And foul. Wow. See, that's bad decisions. There was no reason to double team on the wing because that allowed the top of the circle to open up. Now just watch it. See, Kerr's running back, and now watch what happens. Boom. Now they're moving. Not only do they get the 3, they got the potential for it. All for no reason at all.
And now you're looking, instead of a 14-point halftime lead, you're looking at a 10-point halftime lead if he makes this. And he does it. Ewing can't get the tip, and that's the way we'll end the first half. Well, New York went on a 10-2 run the final minute, 52. B.J. Armstrong, the big first half, 14 points. He only missed 2 shots. And as we go to intermission, the Bulls lead it by 11. Stay with us. Ernie Johnson and Don Nelson are next at the Reebok Halftime Report.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok, to remind you that on Planet Reebok, there are no rules.
All right, the Chicago Bulls are acting like they can't wait to get back to Madison Square Garden for a Game 7. It is a 52-41 count over the Knicks. This is the Reebok Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson along with Don Nelson. Give it to me, big guy. What you think about the first half?
Well, what I think is the Knicks are the better football team. But I'm not so sure that the Bulls aren't the better basketball team. But I'll tell you what, the Bulls have played sensational, and they're only up 11 points. I think they're in a ball game.
Yeah, Greg Anthony with a late three-pointer, cutting that 14-point margin down to 11. Of course, the Indiana Pacers are waiting for the winner of this series in the Western Conference. 2 Game 7s come up tomorrow. You can catch them both on NBC, the Suns and Rockets from Houston, followed by the Nuggets and the Jazz from the Delta Center. The Nuggets are getting double-digit scoring from 7 players in this series. 2-guard Brian Stith averaging 13 a night. This guy has also hit 24 of his last 25 free throws, including a couple of biggies last night. The Denver Dream is still alive, and Bryant Stith is going to join us now from Salt Lake City before Game 7 tomorrow. Bryant, thank you very much for taking the time with us now. And Karl Malone said after the game last night, hey, everybody wants Denver to win. Do you have this, like, America's team theme developing here? Do you sense that?
Well, considering the fact that we're the ultimate underdogs in this series, I think that we've won over a lot of fans.
Bryant, this is Coach Nelson here. Do you guys really think you can win, or are you just kind of on a cloud wondering if you can?
Well, I think, Coach Nelson, the evolution of our confidence has really been amazing. You know, we were just going into the Seattle series hoping not to get embarrassed, and now you have guys on our team guaranteeing victory. So I think that's really a big step for us and growth and maturity, and I think the guys have really done a great job.
Well, you certainly have done a great job. Tell me a little bit about Mutombo. I mean, he's such an interesting guy. Doesn't really need to score, but every now and then he can come up and get you 20 points in a game.
Well, you know, Dikembe, he's definitely the heart and soul of this basketball team. He can control the tempo of a game from the defensive end as well as anyone in the league that I've seen. And, you know, once the big guy can go in and give us 23 points like he did last night, that's really a big bonus for us. And, you know, he's really stepped up big, and he's definitely, you know, our MVP on this team.
Bryant, this team is so young, so inexperienced in the postseason, aside from Robert Pack with all of 14 games coming into this. Who do you guys look to for leadership in there?
Well, I think that what really makes this team so special that we have so many guys who can step up at different points in time during the game. Robert has been very explosive for us off the bench, and, you know, he's the type of guy who's always has a lot of energy. He's like the energizer on our team. So he's done a great job for us coming off the bench, as well as Brian Williams, and it's definitely been a total team effort.
Let me ask you one more thing about LaFonso Ellis. We haven't mentioned much about him, but do you ever let him forget 1992 Virginia over Notre Dame, NIT Finals?
Not at all. LaFonso and I, we came in together, and we've been like best friends, you know. When I ever need someone to confide in, it's LaFonso, and he's definitely been like my backbone, and I'm definitely not ever going to let him forget those games.
Brian Stith, thank you very much for taking the time tonight. Good luck in Game 7 in Utah tomorrow.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Brian Stith joining us from Salt Lake City. A reminder, folks, that when the Western Conference Finals start next week, we don't know who's in there yet, but we're going to have games 1, 2, and 3 right here on TNT Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And when the Reebok Halftime Report continues, we'll talk Dream Team 2 with the coach of Dream Team 2. We'll be right back. The Bulls up 11 at the stadium as the Reebok Halftime Report continues. Let's talk Dream Team 2 with the coach of Dream Team 2. It's really a shame you don't have too much talent on that squad, Nelly.
I know. They didn't select quite enough good players for me.
I mean, what are you going to do with that bunch? How are you going to control them? How are you going to make everybody happy with PT?
Well, I'm not anticipating any problems. I mean, they're all great guys. I want it to be the most special time in their basketball careers, really, is what I'm hoping. And I want it to be a special time in my career, too, and I think we're going to get that done.
That'll be for the World Championship of Basketball in Toronto this summer. You're with these guys for a short time. How will your approach differ from a long-haul Golden State season when you're together 8 or 9 months with these guys?
Well, it's going to be a quick deal, really, because we're going to get together, and we'll only have about a month along with the games. So we're going to play 2 exhibition games, so it'll be a pretty quick thing. We're going to start, of course, on the defensive end and establish that first. And we'll make it as simple as we possibly can, because with this talent, you don't want to get too complicated.
Let's talk about the coaching profession in general. George Karl, after Seattle got knocked out, was bumming. I mean, he felt pretty bad about this thing, and he was saying, you know, it's a crisis in the NBA as far as attitude goes with the players. How difficult is it now? I mean, you've been in this league for 31 years.
Well, I think there is a little change with the young players coming in, but I've always felt that when you look at the character of a person, that really is what establishes him as a credible player or not. And if they have a good background and they play the game for the right reasons, why, then they're going to get along fine with me or any other coach in the NBA. But there's always been problem players. There's been problem players when the game first started. And, of course, we have them today, and we had them in the past.
Well, is there an attitude adjustment that is needed? I mean, how much can you do with a player that you have a problem with?
Well, the problem really is in all the money that the young players make today. You know, we bring them in as millionaires, and oftentimes those players are hard to handle their first few years in the league. But once they get established in the league and they understand what's going on and they mature a little bit, I think is a good word. When they mature, why, they understand that they have to be citizens, not just basketball players.
The Nelly at Large segment of the Reebok Halftime Report will be back in just a minute. Welcome back. The Bulls have led at the half in each game of this series. They lead again tonight by 11, but their most dangerous part of the night is still to come. They've been in the teens in the fourth. How do they have a big third and make that fourth inconsequential now?
Well, the scary thing is that they let the Knicks back so quickly. I mean, within just about 4 minutes, they were right there again, and the second half is going to be very difficult for the Bulls.
If they do win this game, it's back to New York for Game 7. We're heading to the third period at Chicago Stadium. Will this be the last game there? We shall see. 52-41, Bulls on top.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok, there are no limits.
Knicks close out the first half with a 10-2 run. The biggest Chicago lead was 19. The only New York lead was 4-2, and we are at halftime. 52-41 is our score. Along with Hubie Brown, I'm Ron Thulin. Neither team is shooting exceptionally well, but right now the Chicago Bulls have hit their free throws. They're controlling the boards, and they allowed Patrick Ewing only 2 shots in that second quarter. He has 9 for the ball game.
You got to give them their due. Pippen and Grant are 4 for 13 and are struggling, and yet they have this big lead. Why? 6 shot blocks. 8 second shots for a total of 12 points. They've outscored the Knicks 12-1 in second shots. Turnovers 9, and it's given them 9 points out in transition. So the dirty work is there. What they must do now is get Grant and Pippen involved.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half of play.
Well, you can see right now, this is a kick out, B.J. Armstrong scoring. He had an excellent first half, leading the team with 14 points. Now you're going to see the shot, the rebound, the kick out, and this is 2 of the 12 second shot points. And we told you that's so big in this series. 12-1 in the first half. Now John Stark's knocking down this 3. The 2 guards are just too far away from him. He's 3 for 5 in threes. And then for some reason Kerr left his man open to double team, and there you have not only a 3. Fortunately, the foul shot was missed, but the Knicks are 4 for 8 in 3-point attempts. The rebounding, the Bulls uncharacteristically are up 8. Second chance points, we've been telling you, critical in this game. The field goal shooting, brutal at both ends of the floor. The Knicks at 39, only because of the 6 shot blocks by the Bulls. And the bench points, we told you that the Bulls would play better at home, and you can see it right there, 17-9.
Patrick Ewing only 1 of 2 in that second quarter. Ewing for the ball game, 4 of 9. He has 5 rebounds to go along with that. We talked about the rebounding, how Chicago's owning the boards. 4 of the 5 games so far in this series. The team that won the rebounding battle also won the basketball game.
Well, there's an interesting statistic with the guards. The New York guards have 23 points, but 7 turnovers. That's big. The Chicago guards have 29 points and 0 turnovers.
That's big because in Game 5 they had only 4 turnovers, the guards for the New York Knicks. They've almost doubled that in the first half of this ball game. Both teams go with the same starting 5 that began the ball game. Cartwright gives it up to Grant over Ewing. Finds the bottom goal.
3 guys could have forced the shot, and they made the extra pass. You love to see that.
Very unselfish. The lead pushes back up to 13. No Pat Riley team has ever lost a series with a 3-2 lead in the best-of-7 series.
See, Chicago does not have to trap the pick and roll because Anthony never looks to go all the way.
Pippen gives it up. Myers, Armstrong, that's a 2. Cartwright, the offensive rebound.
He lost his balance. Nice.
To Myers, who's fouled hard by Oakley.
Once again, Pete Myers active going to the basket. Now in that first half, Myers had 6 and Kirk had 7. So at the 2-guard position, 13 points already. Now here you're going to see the miss. Billy could not. He lost his balance. Now as they go right back into Myers. Now when Myers scores, that's 15 points for Kerr and Myers at a position that you are running no plays for.
Myers has missed his last 3 free throws, but in a playoff game like this, when your star is not scoring, you expect somebody to do the unexpected. Right now, Myers and Kerr are doing just that. Grant in front of Smith as Armstrong steals it.
2-on-1. Pete forgot to go.
See, went down the middle of the court.
Yeah, well, what he was obsessed with stopping Starks, you see. But what he should have done was gone, and they had a 2-on-1.
Pippen. Oakley has to come out, then Ewing comes out on it. Takes him off the dribble to the hole, rejected by Smith. Oakley with the save. Starks 3 of 5 from the arc. He sees the double early. Oakley has a pick by the number 2 man in the NBA for steals. Pippen. Armstrong counted.
Once again, it's not how fast you go, it's how you read the defense. And on that break, a beautiful hesitation move by Armstrong opened up that explosion for him.
And we've got a 20-second timeout by the Knicks.
Great steal by Pippen. Now you have a 3-on-2. Now watch this hesitation. See, he slows down, and then he takes the move. They're thinking that he was going to pass the ball.
He's done that 2 or 3 times in this series already, the little hesitation step.
Well, you always love to watch players who can finish, especially when they can handle a ball with confidence. They have a nice gait about themselves because they're concerned about reading the defense.
Foul was on Anthony. That is his 3rd personal foul. One thing that Phil Jackson told his troops after the second game in which they lost in New York was, don't be afraid to take it to the hole and get the contact. You can't be afraid of being hit. Armstrong has taken him to his word.
Now, BJ just had a sensational season. He was 2nd in the league in threes at 44%. And then on the foul line, he was 14th, shot 86% during the year on the line. Here's a good trap by Pippen. See, once again, he's guarding Oakley, so he's laying off, and they're going for the double team.
Oakley inside, and it rolls around and falls down.
I'm surprised that Grant did not show up. Grant was very slow in that rotation.
That stopped a 7-0 run the Bulls had to open up the quarter. Armstrong sees the open man in Pippen. He tries to spread the needle to Grant.
Stop the ball.
Anthony with a left hand, a little too hard off the hole. Smith is going to be fouled on the play by Myers, and both players separate quickly.
See, Anthony struggles with finishing. In Game 5, we wanted to bring out to you. See, he has struggled his entire career scoring and with a good field goal percentage. In his 3 years, he has shot 37, 41, and 39, and only 25% in threes. When you are a point guard who penetrates, you must be able to finish.
Charles Smith still looking for his first points of this ball game.
Well, at halftime, we have Charles Smith, who is struggling, who is 0 for 4, Mason 0 for 2. The position which has dominated in the series for the Knicks. 20 points and 10 rebounds, 0 points at halftime.
And they get their first point. Smith coming off a 16-point performance in Game 5. But the lead remains 15 with 9.5. If there is a Game 7, it will be played Sunday in New York.
I like to see that. Because, see, Anthony is a good defender. B.J. Armstrong is not a great one-on-one dribbler. He's fine in the open floor, but he struggles when he must break you down. Now, if you keep him in the backcourt, you're running precious time off, and now you can get up and overplay all of the outlets, like right there. That was close to a turnover.
Myers on Starks. Uses the left hand to push off, a little short on the hoop. Oakley tried to save it. Myers to Grant. The left-handed jam of the whistle. Smith picks up his third personal foul as Horace Grant connects for his 8th point of the ballgame.
Once again, 2 points, a potential 3 off of the second shot attempt. It's a great pass by Myers, and how about this thunder? That's thunder right there. That's sending it home. Strong.
And Derek Harper will come into the next lineup. Greg Anthony is going to take a seat. Harper with 7 points in that first half. Anthony sits down with only a 3 to his credit. Horace Grant, the 7th-year pro out of Clemson, has hit 14 straight free throws up till then.
BJ must spend some energy now on Harper. You've got to pay attention to Harper.
Starks inside. The Oak man with the easy touch.
Oh, backcourt steal by Starks.
And he looks and he throws it away. Oakley for a second, and the veteran Bill Cartwright stepped right in between.
You know, on occasion, the Knicks guards really make you stop. You know, and you shake your head and you say, how could he have done that? You know, you just can't believe that he passed the ball right to Cartwright.
I've seen that a couple times in this series. The 19-footer for Horace Grant, his 6th point of the quarter.
Coming into this game, Horace was shooting 61% in this series.
Smith hesitates, then pulls the trigger and drops it. His first field goal of the ballgame. But the hot hand for the Bulls so far in the third is Horace Grant. He is 3 for 3. Nearing 8 minutes of the third. Bulls by 15.
You're not going to play Cartwright out there. Ewing just lays off.
Ewing takes it away from Cartwright. Here comes Starks.
That was a nice pass. And when you're 7 foot, you must send that one down. You've got to get at least on the foul line in that situation.
Ewing, no place to go. Smith. With a 15-point lead, Scottie Pippen looked for 3 and gave it up to Armstrong. Here's Pippen again. Looked at it. They give Cartwright the shot. Ewing may have got a piece of it.
That's out of his range.
Great save by Horace Grant. Pippen from the arc. The crowd with anticipation. Once again, the Bulls allowing the Knicks to hang around. We saw how quickly they got back into this in the end of the first half.
There's that staggered screen once again for Starks.
Bulls jamming things up. 3 to shoot. Oakley with the reverse. No. Rebound belongs to the Knicks. Oakley wanted the foul.
Charles Oakley just back. Scottie Pippen, 15 feet, right down under the basket. Now we're going to show it to you. Just a great move in posting up. The Oak man just back Pippen all the way down. The basket goes down inside to him. Unfortunately, he could not end it.
63-48 is our score. The rest of the Bulls outside of Horace Grant, 1 of 7. Grant 3 for 3, but he got hurt on that last play.
Well, right now that you can see Oakley backing his man down inside, and he wanted a foul right there. He honestly thought that he was hit on the foul. Now keep an eye on Grant. Grant right now left on that timeout. He did not get hurt on this play. He got hurt setting a screen at the other end of the floor, and the defensive man who was fighting over the top caught him right inside by the groin area. Now he's definitely smarting because they had ice on it, and he was rubbing the area during that timeout.
Well, Hubie, the Knicks have gone to a 3-guard offense. 3-guard defense now as they're cramming Starks guard Pippen.
Well, we have seen this quite a bit in the series.
B.J. Armstrong takes it inside. Longley kicks it back out.
That's a great move by Longley. Just tore that one away from Patrick.
Ewing with the rebound. Starks, Davis, and Harper in the backcourt. Only Oakley and Ewing down low.
Now they will put Pippen on Hubert Davis, and Myers will stay with Starks.
Hubert Davis cannot get away from Scottie Pippen. Davis tries to take him off the dribble inside to Oakley, rejected by Horace Grant, who leads the team in blocks in the playoffs. Great passing. Baby. Holy cow.
Now right there, a lot was said, and Scottie Pippen just went over to tell Spike Lee a few things also. Because as Pippen dunked, this was an elevation. Now he is jacked up. Once he elevated, it looked like he shifted gears in air and sent that one down strong. Now as he lands right on top of Ewing. Now watch this now. Now he says something to Ewing right here. The referees are calling a technical foul. They huddled together before they made this call. Scottie went right over to the side because I guess he's been hearing something during the course of this game from the people on that sideline who are Knicks fans.
Well, Pippen whistled for the technical, but what a spectacular jam by Scottie Pippen. Davis shoots the tee and connects.
See, I like the fact that they call him technical. See, he went right over to Spike because Spike has got his New York Knicks shirt on.
Tell you, the ratings for Crooklyn are sinking, gang. Pippen gets a free throw after the jam and the technical foul. I'd say that has to be one of the most spectacular jams, like John Starks last year in Game 2 with the Knicks and the Bulls in the Garden.
Well, he just elevated. It looked like he climbed an extra. He shifted gears and made a little explosion.
Pippen completes the three-point play. The lead vaults back to 17 inside of 6 minutes.
Right now, Chicago switching on the ball crosses underneath.
Oakley still having problems.
I tell you, Longley's doing a terrific job.
Armstrong with the reverse. Ewing the big rebound, and he throws it away.
Myers,
great look. Grant can't get it to go. No whistle. He can't believe it.
He could not. Neither can the building. But right now, you've got to stop the ball.
And Oakley, as things begin to heat up, down below is fouled by Luke Longley.
Now, Horace Grant cannot believe that he did not get fouled. A very strong move to the basket. A beautiful pass. Set up the shot attempt. And from our angle, he was definitely hammered.
Sends Charles Oakley, the 9th-year pro out of Virginia Union, to the line.
Right now, you're going to see Pippen coming in the elevation over the top of Ewing.
Well, the ovation is for John Paxson, who has just checked in. Paxson, the point guard that led this team to 3 championships.
The Garden right now, they are giving a thundering stand-up ovation to Scottie Pippen for his stellar play out here.
So now the Bulls also with a 3-guard offense.
They're playing Myers at the small forward position to match up with John Starks. You have BJ in the backcourt.
Armstrong, the acrobatic shot won't go. Ewing the rebound.
Now he has launched 3 here in the last 3 minutes and missed them all. And I'm kind of surprised because he has been off balance on every one of his shots. B.J. Armstrong.
16-point lead. Ewing the fall away. He's got it.
See, that's that patented move. Whereas he spins in, he lifts his right leg, and you cannot get to him because if you go over him, that leg just stops you as it catches you right around your belt.
His first field goal in the second half. Longley cuts, Paxson to Myers. 7 to shoot. Starks on Myers. 3 to shoot. Myers has to give it up. They will not get the shot off. It'll be a 24-second violation. Knicks have the ball.
Well, right now, from now to the end of this game, you better step up and be a man. Because it looks like we are not going to see many calls. And so when you get into traffic, you A, better protect the basketball, B, take it strong to the hole, and then retreat defensively if you miss, because the call is not going to happen.
B.J. Armstrong gets a rest. Kerr comes back in. Ewing inside again. A lot of contact.
Right now, I do not like, if I'm a Bull coach or a person in a fan, I'm a little nervous right now because they cannot put the Knicks away. And once again, now the Knicks are making another spurt. This game has been played in spurts, back and forth.
Ewing 3 of 5 at the stripe tonight.
Interesting that Patrick had such a great year this season. And, you know, you look at where he was in all of his stats. Had great scoring, great points, great rebounding, and for the first time in 7 years was not rewarded by making either the first, second, or third All-NBA team. The center position was Elijah Wan on the first team, Robinson on the second, Shaquille O'Neal on the third.
The lead is 12. As you mentioned, they're coming right back into it, gradually creeping up on the Bulls. This second team from Chicago did a nice job in Game 5. Starks tips it away, can't make the save, and he goes right into us.
Jeez.
The ball's still alive. Durant. Starks. Does Turner pick up dry cleaning bills, Hubie? Well, we're going to have to dry off here. We'll be able to see him come flying into us. And my partner took the brunt of it.
It's all right. The main thing is that he did not get hurt, and then also that I did not get hurt.
Yeah. Ewing, a foul on the play.
Because John came right over the telestrator as well as our monitor.
Which is now a pretty green, I might add. Now the foul was on Grant. That is his first personal.
Here comes Starks. He's coming right into us right here. Fortunately for him and everyone concerned, and also the people in the first row, no one was injured.
Well, our stat man, Chuck Gardner, is laughing. He was under the pile last week here in the little brawl, and now we get it. This is a dangerous seat. The free throw connects. 3 straight here in the second half. You can see that the Bulls are doing a nice job keeping his shot attempts down in this series. Pat Riley says we've got to have at least 20 shot attempts from Patrick Ewing. They're not getting it.
Well, but let's give Chicago some credit. I mean, not only are they getting great double teaming and forcing him to pass out, but then again also we are not having a great deal of scoring in the series either.
Patrick Ewing, 7 of 9 from the line as the Knicks have put together an 8-0 run in the quarter, and the lead is down to 10. Longley from 16 goes about 17, and the rebound controlled by Harper and the Knicks. They can cut this to single digits. It has been a while since they've had that opportunity against Chicago. Ewing on Longley, Kukoc looking at the double, there it is. Harper, the ball fake to Ewing with 3 to shoot. The arcer, it finds the net. Here come the Knicks again.
of the building. Everyone is uptight.
They want a 20-second timeout at 10.
We have brought this point out, and that is that at both benches, you must totally be aware of your five-man combinations on the floor. Do you have anyone to break down the defense?
66-58 is our score with 2:54 remaining to be played in the third quarter. Bulls on top. The last play of the game that we had before the break.
Well, once again, penetration into the lane opens up Ewing. And Ewing is starting to make his move right now.
Well, UB Chicago getting a lot of shots in this third quarter. They have taken 15, but unfortunately for them, they've only made 4. The Knicks, 5 of 10. They are shooting 50% as Patrick Ewing has checked in with 4 from the floor and 4 from the free throw line. The percentages for this quarter so far. 2:54 remaining to be played in the third. Chicago has led by as many as 19. They led by 11 in intermission. Kerr, Grant, Pippen, Longley, and Kukoc.
The Knicks defense, by coming out and picking up over half court, has definitely increased the length of the passing lanes and running major seconds off the clock.
And it is a 3. Pippen can't get it, and the Knicks can cut the lead even further.
Well, now just think, they've had at least 6 or 7 shots in the painted area during this drive spell. They cannot get the row.
And we still have that important fourth quarter, which the Knicks have owned in this series. Starks from the arc doesn't get it. Oakley fell, had a chance at the rebound. Kerr trips over him. Kukoc. Nice move on Starks for 2.
We have not seen transition. You cannot get transition until you get the Knicks to stop scoring and stop getting on the foul line.
Davis pulls the trigger. Oakley tries to keep it alive. Grant with the rebound. That'll be a loose ball foul on Charles Oakley. That'll be his 4th.
Over the back that time, you could see good blocking out by Grant that time. Now, despite the backcourt pressure in this quarter, this was a good move by the Knicks. You can see the shot clock is going way down, but you see where the catch is? The catch is already out 28 feet, and now the angles are bad, and so even when you do finally get it, you must get a high percentage shot off quickly. You've got to go strong to the rim.
Well, Charles Oakley has to sit out. He has 4 personal fouls. Mason comes in. Charles Smith is set to check in.
Well, you can see that Grant is coming to life on the board. Now, this is a young man who averaged over 11 rebounds a game during the season and was the 3rd leading offensive rebounder in the league at 4.4. Now, in this building, in this series, he's averaging 4 offensive boards. They need him to come to life at both ends. Play big.
On the negative side, he's only averaging just over 1 offensive rebound in the Garden in New York. The lead is back up to 12 inside of 145.
Nice
Pippen with the steal. He has Harper to beat. Harper swats it away. Chicago has the ball. No foul.
Now that was prime time defense. Not only was he retreating, now watch Harper retreat. He's retreating, but then he cuts him off, and then a great move.
And Grant misses the easy shot from inside. Knicks have the ball. Davis goes baseline. Ewing over Longley, short. Mason can't get it. He'll be whistled for the foul. That'll be Anthony Mason's first.
I'm very impressed tonight with the job that Chicago is doing on Smith and Mason. Because in games 1 and 2, Mason owned the Bulls. We were talking 13 points, 10 rebounds. He was leading the team in assists with 4 a game. Smith was coming off the bench, giving them primetime points. So that position was big time. Tonight, almost non-existent up until this time in the game.
The shooter's roll for Tony Kukoc, who's 3 for 3 tonight. And here comes Scott Williams into the lineup once again to the course of moves. And Horace Grant sits down to the applause. Well, as Kukoc gets the second, talking about the 3 big guys down low, Mason, Oakley, and Smith, only 13 points between the three of them. 10 of those belong to Oakley.
Harper just came off the staggered screen.
8 to shoot. Ewing sizing up Longley. Harper kicks it back out. Davis, this is a three. Doesn't get it. Mason, the offensive rebound. Ewing.
The Bulls had inside position, 2 white shirts. Mason comes up with the rebound, smart enough to get Patrick the ball where he loves it, on the baseline.
10 in the quarter for Patrick, 21 for the ball game. Longley has it rejected, but we have a whistle.
Patrick gambled that time, which allowed Longley to get the free move to the hole. Now as this shot goes up, look out the inside here. Kukoc, Longley, the long rebound to Mason. Smart pass right there.
Now Charles Smith whistled for his 4th personal foul. He joins Oakley also with 4. We are in Chicago Stadium as the Chicago Bulls try to remain alive in their best-of-7 series with the Knicks. As Luke Longley hits the free throw, we have 46.7 seconds remaining in the third, and the Bulls holding on to a 13-point advantage.
Now Longley, off the bench, has given them quality time tonight. Not only with the rebounding, but the banging around with Ewing. He has 7 points and 6 rebounds.
The lead is at 14 after the Knicks cut it to 8.
There he goes.
Ewing from outside, Pippen with the rebound, Longley, and Kukoc running. Kukoc has it. And he waits for the rest of the white jerseys to join him.
Big thing here is now you get something good. Kukoc wants to take Patrick. Nice pass.
Nice pass to Williams from Luke Longley.
That's what you love about Kukoc. If he feels he can take you, he's going right away. And the only guy on the Knicks who can seem to match up with him is Mason. Everyone else, he goes right away.
They're standing in the stadium. Ewing for 3, doesn't get it. The high bounce controlled by Scott Williams. They still have 2 seconds left. Pippen at the buzzer, doesn't go. The New York Knicks made a run late in the third, only to have the Bulls counter it. After the Knicks cut it to 8, it is up to 16. The Magnificent Mile, better known as Michigan Avenue in Chicago. We're just a couple of miles away on Madison. The Bulls and the Knicks in Game 6. 19 points for the Knicks in that quarter, 24 for the Bulls, and the Bulls lead it by 16 heading into the final quarter. Now that we got the first 3 quarters out of the way, it's time for that all-important 4th quarter, which has been a completely different story in this series.
Well, in this series, it's 24 to 16. The Knicks, they have played. You can see it right here. Pippen has only averaged 3 points, shooting 20% in the 4th quarter. He averages 21 in the other 3. You can see it, 24 to 16, the field goal percentage. Now, with 4 of the 5 games coming down to 5 points or less, will we see another miracle finish by the Knicks?
They've got quite a hole they've dug themselves into. We have a whistle and a foul, and that's going to be on Patrick Ewing.
Now, he definitely stepped out that time and picked Kerr off.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Think about Scottie Pippen, you talk about what he's scoring, but he's only getting 4 shots per quarter in the 4th quarter right now.
Well, that comes with the territory. He gets double teamed, and then when he passes out, the other people must step up. They have played 9 4th quarters, 4 in the regular season, 5 in the playoffs. They've only scored 20 points once in 9 4th quarters. That's amazing.
None in the playoffs. Kukoc starts on him, giving away a lot of inches. Kukoc shoots over him. Hit the shot clock, will go the other way. Herb Williams will check in. And Patrick Ewing will sit down for the Knicks.
In games 3 and 4, where the Bulls had the big leads and allowed them back, you must honor the fact that the Knicks do a great job defensively in order to get the shots to come back. But then again, Chicago has a tendency to slow the game down. They do not get any second shot attempts in the fourth quarter, and then they never get out in transition because the Knicks continue to score. This is a big test for them right now.
That ball also went over the backboard. Will go the other way in the fourth quarter. The Knicks only allow 17 points a game, 31% shooting.
They do not have a ball handler out here that can handle. Now we're inside of 10 seconds right now on the shot clock.
Kerr looks for Kukoc, 6 to shoot. Davis takes it right out of the hands, and Kukoc reaches over and slaps John Starks. John Starks is hammered hard by Scott Williams, and quickly Jack Neese gets in between them.
That was a smart move by Starks. On the catch, like Pat Riley likes to say, his team is a post-catch offensive rebounding type of a team. Now, this is a smart move. Once this ball goes over, Starks sees that there's a problem. He takes it strong. Here comes Scotty Williams, and he forces him to foul.
Starks' first trip to the free throw line this evening. He is 28 of 32 in this series from the stripe.
Well, he's averaging 88%. He's an excellent foul shooter, and the big thing is he's been averaging 6 foul shot attempts per game in this series.
And he plays so much better in the second 24 minutes.
Well, he's the guy who is that gutty performer who wants the ball when the pressure is on.
And I think Tony Kukoc may be bleeding. He's going to go have to look at Chip Schaefer, the trainer. If he is bleeding, he has to be taken out of the ball game. It's on the side of his neck, it appears. We're not sure where it's coming from. That was a scratch. There you can see it.
Yeah, well, that's a whip. That's so
bitter. Look at the nails.
Now you can see that's right along his throat, going to his left shoulder. And it looks like someone's sled ran right over his face and his neck. Now keep an eye right there. There it is. There's the scratch by Starks.
And you can see if that replay kept going, he kind of reaches out and gives John Starks a little love tap. Horace Grant comes in. Starks hits the free throw. First two of the second half for Starks, but the lead remains at 14 inside of 10:45.
Whenever you do not have good ball handlers to break it, you need a big man in the backcourt so that they can run their man off of him and get it up over. Now right now, once again, we're inside of 10 seconds.
Pippen, Harper on him. 4 to shoot. Longley, nice look inside to Graham.
Luke Longley is worth his weight, whatever they're paying the guy. In this series, with the shot clock down, it's amazing how many people he finds for good shots.
The three by Harper won't find the range. Longley averaging 2 assists a game in this series. The Bulls try to add on to that 14-point advantage. We've got a whistle. It's going to be on John Starks on Horace Grant, doing a little bumping, hits Grant upside the head. Starks now has 4.
Well, all the big men, anytime that Starks gets caught on a switch, they take him right to the low box, forcing Starks now to front them.
Longley handling it outside, tries to throw a little lob to Pippen. He thought he was held.
No, that was my fault. Because, see, I blew so much smoke on that last pass.
That's exactly right. And did he choke?
Well, he had to show that he was human and come up with a turnover.
Davis stops, pulls the trigger, doesn't get it. Last touch by Scottie Pippen off his leg. Knicks will have the basketball, and we have a timeout.
See, that was good hustle by Chicago. Longley had that rebound. Williams took it right out of his hand.
Here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Right now, the Bulls owning the rebounding department and second chance points.
Well, it's a major issue when two good teams play one another. How many offensive rebounds do you get? The Bulls had 12 tonight. They're only averaging 11 in this series. And then the second chance points. Wow, what a difference.
Well, Phil Jackson said he wanted to control the tempo of the ball game. He has been able to do that. Pat Riley said we have to play a perfect game. He has not done that.
Well, the Knicks, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league, right at 15. And when you see that they only have 4 offensive boards with 9:37 to go in the game, the front line of Chicago doing a terrific job.
It has been 4 years since the Bulls have lost a playoff series. Harper toes the line from 3.
The pressure's on Harper to score. The reason Scottie Pippen is leaving him, going down and double teaming any post up or any dribbler in the lane. The quick pitch out to Harper is giving him an excellent look for the three-point shot.
Oakley goes into the cheap seats. He's okay. And the Knicks have the basketball.
Now Harper right now is 3 for 8 on field goals, 0 for 3 in threes. But during the year, he shot 37%. He attempted 98, made 37.
Davis Starks crashing the boards, can't get it. Kerr comes up with a loose ball.
See where the 2 guards tonight for Chicago are scoring. Hubert Davis off the bench is having a tough evening.
Longley out. Ties the dish off to Williams 2 times in a row since we said he was a great passer.
Now,
he's thrown it away.
Everyone is yelling at Scott Williams and said he needed the knuckleball glove that they use in baseball against that one.
That was Mr. Negro throwing that.
All he had to do was throw that bounce pass.
Ewing hits his first of the 4th. 21 for Patrick and 23 for Patrick Ewing.
You can feel the fans. Okay, it's like it's not a hush, but you can feel they're anxious right now.
Now Pippen, Harper has to pick him up. He fronts him. They throw it over the top and they throw it away.
Once again, a pass to a postman when the postman did not call for it. Here's Patrick, the ball right back at him. Longley too far away. Now in the 4th quarter, this is interesting in the series. That's what they scored, 23 and 24. 4th quarter, 8-3, 62% versus 20.
Right now, Patrick Ewing has 2. Crowd chanting defense. The lead is at 14, inside of 8.5. Another whistle and another foul. Cartwright and Armstrong will check into the lineup. It has been Phil Jackson's plan throughout this series to have his starters rest the majority of the 4th quarter. He feels it brings them fresh legs in on defense. Longley, his 4th.
I like that set that the Knicks ran. Ewing came off the box, came up high, and allowed Harper to take his man to the baseline. That's the first time Harper has had that type of a look all evening.
We still have more basketball coming your way on Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It'll be the Western Conference Finals right here on TNT. Teams to be named later. Harper will get a second.
Harper, the first player in the NBA to improve his scoring average 8 consecutive seasons. Also known as an excellent defender, making the all-defensive team 2 times on the 2nd unit.
Those were his years with the Dallas Mavericks.
See, they really have them out of sync here, man. It's just amazing.
Pippen doesn't get it. Ewing with the rebound, takes it away from Cartwright. They can cut the lead down to 10 or 9. Harper finds the seam.
Nice pass.
Starks for 3. Buries it. His 4th of the ball game.
Once again, the penetration of Harper. That's why I told you earlier in this game, this is a tough assignment for B.J. Armstrong. You cannot fall asleep with Harper.
They're going to begin their offense way outside with 13 on the shot clock.
In the fans, they're getting restless. Why? Because the offense is down to a walk. There is no smoothness. There is no fluid motion here. Everything is stopping on its dime. Now, this is a great ball movement by the Knicks. They accepted the double team on Harper, and they made 2 passes. One to the corner, and then one right to the top.
Harper picks up his 4th personal foul. The Knicks facing foul difficulty at this juncture.
Yeah, but Pat Riley will ride him because he's playing well.
Good start. Picks the pocket, can't hold on to it. Still time to shoot. It's at 10. Armstrong arcs it from 3. Rebound, Oakley had it. Cartwright returns it.
Now there is a lucky bounce.
Oakley did everything he can to try to keep that ball alive. The lead back at 11.
Now Scottie Pippen on the point, on the baseline. They catch B.J. Armstrong. There was a switch.
John Starks picks with his 5th personal foul, and Charles Oakley pushes him away from getting in the face of Pete Myers. 6:58 left, Bulls by 11.
Now keep an eye underneath the basket, and we'll see this foul. Now, as they come across there now, you're going to see Starks push Myers off before he came around, right in front of Mike Mathis. Mike Mathis makes the call. Then there is a continuation. All right, Myers says something to Starks. Now, right away, Oakley pushes him. They need Starks. Starks has 5 fouls, but he has 18 points. He's 4 for 7 in threes. He is vital to their cause if they're going to make a solid run here.
And there's still a lot of time left at 6:58, and they only trail by 11. So in this 4th quarter so far, in just under 5 minutes played, the Chicago Bulls have only been able to score 4 points.
Well, you can see, Ron, it's definitely because they walk the ball up. They slow it down to a walk. The Knicks are smart by pressuring them in the backcourt. That's taking precious time off the clock.
And they're going with a 3-guard offense again for the Knicks, and they put pressure on the basketball. Starks looking for the pick. There's nobody coming.
Well, they have Ewing outside above the foul line because that's where Cartwright is. But now Ewing's on the double team.
3 to shoot. Cartwright's going to have to launch it with 1. Doesn't get it. The tip by Scottie Pippen.
What a great play by Pippen.
And then Oakley and Pippen get tangled up underneath the basket.
Well, that's because Pippen was hit on that. He honestly thought he was fouled. Then there were words down in there with 3 Knicks and Pippen.
And there's 11 points now for Scottie Pippen.
Now, this is a good matchup right now. How about that move?
There you talk about going to the hole strongly.
See, in Game 5 in New York, no point guard could beat Pippen off the dribble. Why? Harper, he's a proven vet, and he's an excellent dribbler. He just leveled him to sleep and then blew right by him.
That's 11 for Derek Harper.
See, once again, too much time.
And they're starting so far out with 9 on the shot clock. Pippen posting up on Harper. Ewing helps out. 3 to shoot. They move it on over. Myers at the buzzer.
Pete Myers and Steve Kerr.
That's 10 for Pete Myers. He's stepping up his game this evening. The lead is 13. Now Myers holding on to Starks. Starks finds the opening. Rejected by Horace Grant. And then Cartwright comes down with the rebound.
Starks is upset on his curl move. He thought that he was fouled going strong. Instead, they come up with the block right here. See, he thinks he gets fouled right here. All right, now, does he get fouled? Of course he did. He got whacked. That's why he's all upset. Now, just watch this foul. He gets hit across both arms. All right, no call. Chicago, great block by Horace.
Great block. It's a great block. That's what it'll read in the books. Oakley, Smith, Harper, and Ewing all with 4. Starks with 5. Pippen on Harper. Harper reaches in, gets away with 1. Then we have the whistle. That may be it for John Starks. And it is.
Remember we said about being a man in this quarter? People are really getting Smith.
Starks will lead with 18 points at the 4:54 mark.
Big thing right now, at both ends of the floor, you must protect the basketball. The Starks is upset because he knows that he was fouled hard at the other end of the floor and never got the ball. But he better get off the floor before they hit him with a technical.
Hugh Evans is going to listen to him. Hugh is a veteran official. And Starks will have to leave. Pat Riley calling for him.
Now right now they come with Blackman.
Alonzo Blackman, who's only played 25 minutes in the playoffs and only 14 minutes in this series.
Well, he's an excellent defender, but it's very difficult to sit on the bench, you know, for 43 minutes and then come in and all you have to do is guard Scottie Pippen.
That's all you have to do. And they expect you probably to hit a 3 now and then. That's the 4th team foul on the Knicks, with 4:49 left to be played in the ballgame.
Now, in his career, Blackman has scored over 18,000 points, and he's only had 5 shot attempts in 3 games.
It's amazing. Grant from 17. Cartwright, great job keeping it alive, the offensive rebound.
They have
out sensing it.
Oh, yeah, they've just done a magnificent job. The Knicks have not been able to hold. They are the #1 defensive rebounding team in the league. That's why this is so impressive.
6 to shoot for B.J. Armstrong. He goes around Ewing. Strong to the hole. The tip. Pippen again.
Well, Pippen has come in with 2 big second shot efforts. Now, once again, to show you that he's human, B.J. misses his 4th attempt coming in here. And how about this? Coming from the weak side. Taking advantage of the double-teamer, leaving the area open.
Chicago on an 8-2 run the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Part of the crowd of well over 18,000 at the stadium in Chicago. That is amazing.
You look at this statistic. The Knicks have 6 offensive rebounds. They've been dominating this series. All right, for a total of 4 second chance points. The Bulls, 17 offensive boards. They've only been averaging 11 in the series, but then the critical 22 points.
Scottie Pippen only has 13 points, but he has 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and had 4 steals to that. So the points aren't there, but everything else is. And what that equals to is a 15-point Chicago lead. In the last 3 years, the Bulls have been extended to 7 games in only 1 series. That was in 1992, and the team, the New York Knicks. But the Bulls have never won a 7th game on the road, and right now, with still a lot of time left, they're headed in that direction for a 7th contest.
Main thing for Chicago, to try to stay away from the threes.
Ewing with the basket, and Chicago may give up a 3-point play.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Take care of the defensive board and hug the 3-point shooters. Now the Bulls had inside position. Keep an eye on this. 4th shot by Patrick. There you are, right there. And then the Oak man keeps that one alive, and they get the lucky bounce right to Ewing. But give Patrick credit. Very strong move.
Well, Patrick Ewing again, another big game for Ewing. He's checking in with 26 points. The lead is 12.
The next foul by the Knicks. Chicago will be shooting the penalty. They're running the triangle. It's your 2-man game.
A lot of body contact. Armstrong, another tremendous ball fake to get Davis up in the air and draw the contact.
B.J. is the best player in their offensive scheme of things, going to the left side of the floor. When he runs that 2-man game, he can hit the jumper going away from the basket, and then in this series, he's putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket more than he has in his entire career.
His 2nd miss this evening, and this is from a young man that had only missed 2 in this entire series and 4 in the entire playoffs.
But, you know, he came in averaging 5 a game, 5 attempts a game. He was 22 for 24, 92%. But he has played so big.
He's averaging just under 18 in this series. And B.J. Armstrong now has 18.
Armstrong is on Harper now. Pippen is chasing Blackman.
Still a lot of time left in this ball game. Inside of 3.5. Blackman puts it up for a 2. Hits the backboard hard. Armstrong with the loose ball.
Now that was definitely deflected that time by Pippen. That was just good, solid defense. That was forced.
This series has been filled with close games and controversy on and off the basketball court. Cartwright inside, and he is going to be hammered by Rolando Blackman before he took the shot.
Well, Rowe's not going to allow him to dump the ball. That was a nice pass, a good court awareness. When they trap Myers, the ball reversal right to the middle of the floor. That forces the defense into bad angle coverage, and then right down inside to Cartwright.
You'll be in all your years of basketball. Have you ever seen a team that has had controversy off the court, the Chicago Bulls, but yet when they get on the court, to their credit, all they do is play basketball?
Well, you know, that's a compliment to your talent. Now you can see right there, Billy didn't do anything in the Cleveland series, but he hardly played. They were saving him for this series. Now they would have needed him if Doherty would have been available.
Ewing, 26 points, 14 rebounds. And he sits down as Herb Williams comes in, and Rolando Blackman knocks home the jumper.
The center position for the Bulls tonight has been sensational. When you combine what Cartwright and Longley have done in the points and the rebounds, you get 19 points. I'm sorry, you get 11 rebounds and 17 points. Not bad.
Not bad. Ewing going to get a rest. The final 2.5 or 3 won't go. Tip, Cartwright, Grant, great. Bad pass by Herb Williams. An excellent defensive move by Horace Grant. Horace Grant was rewarded by making the second team all defense for the second year in a row. Now as Herb comes out, see Grant goes right up, jams him. He does not allow him to make the outlet. Well, we said at the early part of this game, a major factor would be Grant getting on the glass and making himself available, and he has done it all tonight. Not only does he have the 15 points, but he has the 9 rebounds and the shot clock. Fred Hickman and Mike Lev standing by with Inside the NBA. They'll preview the Western Conference Game 7s, plus a recap of tonight's ball game, update on Roy Tarplin. That's all coming up next. Bill Cartwright gets a big round of applause from the fans. He sits down. Cartwright tonight with 9 points. But he has played Patrick Ewing very well. So both coaches going to their bench now. Game 7 will be played Sunday afternoon in New York, with the East Final set to get underway Tuesday, which we will bring you here on TNT. Blackman drains the 3, only his 3rd field goal of the playoffs.
It's just amazing how when you get an old pro who has been in the league, and we tell you, over 18,000 points he has scored in his career at Dallas and in New York.
The lead is 12. Pippen throws it away with 1:49 left to be played. Corey Gaines will come into the lineup. Derek Harper, in his first game back from the suspension, will sit down with 11 points.
You know, it's amazing. If the Knicks come up now and hit a 3, you're inside of 10 points, and the ball game is still going.
Kerr's coming in. Ewing's still on the bench for New York. Davis spotting up for the 3. Blackman gives it over to Anthony Bonner, who has just checked in. Couple of ball fakes. Doesn't get it. The bounce won't go. Rebound, B.J. Armstrong.
Now Bonner is playing with a torn muscle in the abdomen area. That is the reason why his time has been curtailed.
During the final minute of Game 6, it has been all the Chicago Bulls. Armstrong with his 6th of the quarter. He has 20 for the ball game. 1 minute left. The Chicago Bulls, hats off. They've stood up to the challenge. And just maybe if they can get the victory Sunday, Chicago Stadium will remain for a few more days. That's a 3 at the buzzer. It won't go. Williams can't keep it alive. Grant does. They are standing in the stadium once again.
Well, they really appreciate the effort. That's why it was so important at the top of the show. The home team has held court. And the fact that they have that ability to come close to getting the 100 points again.
Grant, the offensive rebound, and the Bulls can run out the clock.
It's just a great win for their organization. They did a terrific job. Every time that the Knicks would go on a 10-2 spurt, they would answer.
That is it. 93-79, a little activity in the corner, and that's the way we'll wrap it up. Nope, 1.6 left. Now the players are all walking to the locker room. Ewing, Starks. But this one is part of history, and that's the way it'll remain. 93-79 is our final. The best of 7 tied up in 3 games apiece. Pat Riley has never lost a 7-game She led 3 games to 2. She led 3 games to 2 in this there.
Now, you know, for a guy who averages 24 points a game in this series, the frustration with you and Grant at halftime, 4 for 13. What do you talk about at halftime? Because in the overall picture, you might have had one of your better overall games tonight, except for the points.
Well, definitely. I feel like, that my shot wasn't falling tonight, and I told Horace that we wasn't shooting the ball well. We needed to allow ourselves opportunity to get second shots, and that's what we was able to do, and I think that's how we beat this team tonight on second shots.
Scotty, the highlight of the game for us, though, was your slam dunk. We're going to show it to you, see what it looked like, because it was absolutely fantastic. What were you thinking? Did you see the opening here?
Well, I saw the opening, and I waited for this opportunity all series to try to catch Patrick Ewing under the basket, and I had to get the best out of it after I dunked on it.
Yeah, and now tell us the continuation. What happens now?
Well, I just kind of stood over him and threw him to the floor, and he's kind of mad, but that's part of how this series has been. It's been a lot of intense, a lot of pressure, and when guys get the opportunity to taunt you after dunk like that, you can expect it.
All right, let's talk about Sunday. Now, you're 0-3 in their building. You've been right there at the end of 3 quarters in every game. What must be done other than the obvious of getting it done in the 4th quarter? What has to happen in the total game?
I think we got to play defense. I think our defense, we've been able to shut their offense down, and that's what's kind of kept us dominating this series as much as we have. We think we got to come out in New York and take the crowd out of the game. And if we can get up, I think that's pretty much it. I think the pressure of their fans will really take them out of the game.
I just want to say one thing. Congratulations. #1 vote getter for the NBA All-Selection team. What does it mean to Scottie Pippen after the year of turmoil?
Well, it means a lot. This season's kind of been up and down for me. A lot of things happening against me, and it's stuff that I'm kind of not used to and unexpected. But I've been still focusing and doing what I got to do on the basketball court. But this has been a great season for me on the court.
Congratulations. Great game tonight, Scotty. 93-79. You have a Game 7 on Sunday afternoon against the Knicks in New York. And Hubie and I will be back in a moment to wrap things up.
Thanks.
All right, welcome back to our Atlanta studios. Ernie Johnson along with Don Nelson. Look into the crystal ball. Who do you like on Sunday as Chicago and New York play Game 7?
Oh, my. I don't know that I can pick one. But let me commend the referees first for making sure that we had a basketball game tonight. I think that was really important. The Bulls have been outstanding. And, I think that they can do it in the Garden. But I'll tell you, it's going to be tough because the Knicks are a great team.
Going to be a great one. Bring a mouthpiece. It's going to be a great weekend. 3 Game 7s. You will see them all on NBC beginning tomorrow. Suns and the Rockets play Game 7 in the West, followed by the Nuggets and Jazz Game 7. And on Sunday afternoon, the Bulls and the Knicks will settle who's going to play Indiana in the Eastern Conference Final. We can tell you this about our schedule on TNT. The Western Conference Finals will begin Monday. We'll have Games 1, 2, and 3. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Pick your 2 favorites out of those 4 squares, and you got your Western Conference Final. In the East, we will have Games 1 and 2. Tuesday and Thursday, the Pacers taking on either the Knicks or the Bulls. Put you on the spot one.